Salam. Our farm is called Bismallah Organic Farm. We are best known for growing corn and soy. Our goal is to feed the most amount of people while maintaining a low carbon footprint and our ethical practices. At Bismillah Farms, we understand this is not just a job for these individuals, as they put their heart into what they love doing.
This chart highlights the benefits of our farm. Firstly, look to the cost. We are using all 100 acres given with a cost of only $37.5 thousand. This means that we still have $62.5 thousand left, which we can use to positively benefit the environment. Second, look to the number of people fed. We are feeding 176 people with just 100 acres. This means that we would only need 180.7 million acres to feed every single American. For context, in 2017, we were recorded to use 900 million acres. With our approach, you would see a 500% decrease in the acres of land we use for farming.
The first choice we made was to not raise any livestock on our farm. This is because both cattle and chickens are too expensive to raise, while feeding not as many people as crops do. Raising them would only lead to environmental harms with little benefit. Also, in most farms, animals are often mistreated and carry out miserable lives. We decided to avoid this because we at Bismillah Organic Farms believe in the proper and ethical treatment of all wildlife. Also, the waste of the animals would have a high carbon output, leading to the further deterioration of our environment. The second choice we made was to invest in GMOs. Although they do cost more than regular crops, GMOs are more efficient, have low environmental costs, and reduce the need for extra pesticides and fertilizers. In general, they are able to be more self-sufficient and productive than regular crops are. We also decided to have an even split of corn and soybeans. We did this for a variety of reasons. First, by harvesting both crops equally, we can provide our customers with more choices and variety to choose from. Both corn and soybeans are able to be made into thousands of other types of food and ingredients. The reason we decided to do this was to maintain the integrity of the soil over time by rotating our crops. Every growing season, we are going to switch the fields we plant corn and soybeans in. This will allow the nutrients in the soil to replenish and will allow us to create a sustainable farm. Rather than use industrial and artificial fertilizers for our plants, we chose to include organic fertilizers. Fertilizers such as manure and compost will all add to our push for a more natural and organic farm. We also chose to use natural pesticides on our crops. Although it is difficult to imagine, there are plenty of natural pesticides available. For example, a pesticide that we are choosing to use is neem oil. Ancient Indians highly revered neem oil as a powerful, all-natural plant for warding off pests. Neem oil is one of the most powerful natural pesticides on the planet, containing over 50 natural insecticides. We're going to use this pesticide to our advantage and reduce our carbon output, as well as provide protection for our crops against pests. We also chose to use human labor rather than mechanical labor in order to provide more job opportunities and reduce our carbon output.
We chose to go organic because we wanted to maximize the amount of people we fed while keeping the carbon and monetary costs as low as possible. To do this, we created a fully vegetarian farm by investing most of our money towards corn and soy. To keep our farm as organic as possible, we also invested in organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers are different than synthetic fertilizers since they consist of only plant or animal-based material instead of artificial minerals that is used in synthetic. The specific organic fertilizer we utilize is compost, since it is high in nutrients, humus acid, and microorganisms. Compost helps add nutrition to the soil that the crops are growing on and helps our plants grow fast and efficiently due to the high amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium found. We also added 10 acres of trees on our farm, since the trees absorb some of the carbon dioxide our farm is producing, allowing our farm to have less of a carbon footprint. To be specific, our trees absorbed exactly 30 tons of carbon dioxide from our farm, showing the impact this technique holds. The trees also provide a refuge for wildlife and habitat for animals. We chose to give up 10 acres of land we could have used for crops in order to plant trees, which shows our dedication to maintaining the environment.
Our farm is extremely organized and effective. We have the soy and corn split apart so that we can best adapt to and grow each crop depending on its specific needs. It also allows for easier crop rotation. Both plants have a 9 by 5 acre lot and individually take up 45 acres. We have the trees planted in a 1 by 10 acre lot to maximize effectiveness and evenly distribute one tree per each row of crop. These trees are useful because they help minimize our ecological impact in two key ways. The first is by cleansing the air of harmful gases such as CO2, and the second is by providing a living space and habitat for many animals.
Thank you, Abhi, for your insightful information. Let's move on to limitations. So the first two bullet points are regarding farm calculator limitations. The first limitation is the amount of land. We were only able to have 100 acres of land, so we weren't able to do as much as we desired. But the second is the crop choices that were given. We were only given soy and corn, so we only had the ability to use those and we couldn't access any other crops. But the second two limitations are on the farm itself. The first limitation was to go with no livestock. Although livestock is an item of great demand, vegetarianism is the future. It is a more eco-friendly option, and in the future we will see people take more action against climate change. But the other limitation is the decrease in efficiency due to using human labor instead of mechanical. But you have to realize here that this decrease in efficiency is just a small disadvantage compared to the benefits of human labor and the thousands of jobs we will be creating. These two drawbacks will slightly alter the efficiency of the farm. However, you will see that the farm performs very well regardless of our limitations, and we will be the best choice out of all the other farms. So, the question is, why should you pick Bismallah Organic Farms? We would tell you that there's three key reasons Bismallah Organic Farms is your clear decision for the farm you want to invest in. The first reason is that on a broad scale, we will be feeding the most amount of people, specifically 176 people per 100 acres of land. Additionally, when we expand our farms and build more of them, we'll be able to reach our goal of feeding the world one by one. But secondly, and more importantly, we are the most cost efficient for the most value. Unlike our competitors, we decided to run a vegetarian farm, meaning our total cost at the end of the day was only $37,000. With the remaining $63,000, we'll be diverting that money into nonprofit organizations and companies that are fighting for climate change. On top of that, our business model is to give half of all our future revenue to those same nonprofits and be an active supporter in the fight for climate change. But the third and final reason is that we create jobs. At Bismallah Organic Farms, we value the people over profit. In 2019, more than 100,000 farmers have lost their jobs. This number will only have grown due to the effects of the current pandemic on our economy. Therefore, we want to employ more people to give them and their families a source of income. The main reason why we did not choose the mechanical route is because we would rather have our food be handled by people who care rather than a machine itself. We want people to know that we take pride in maintaining the quality and integrity of the food they consume. To conclude, our emphasis on people, sustainability, and feeding the world is why you should pick Bismallah Organic Farms.